Yeah, hello all. Um, it's it's good to be alive, I guess. Um, what's going on for me at the moment is I've got a little bit of fear. I slept until 9 o'clock this morning, and then I had another hour and a half sleep in the afternoon. So I was just wondering or worrying about the fact, whether this is another shift in my sleep pattern. Um, but aside from that, I guess what I'm trying to process with very little information, due to the fact that the only time the word's mentioned is in uh, brief uh, on Google searches, or otherwise it's contained in PDF files that you have to pay money to preview or read. And that word is deaffectualisation. And I guess I wanted to know the exact meaning, when in reality it's very simple, in the sense that affect being mood, um, de meaning you know deconstruct, unravel, or it's not there. I don't know the exact term for the prefix. I'm just guessing, but yeah, and the little glimpse of information that I got that went, I had an aha moment was, an inability to cry. And, I guess for me, having extreme emotions, and the only time that I ever experience those sorts of extremes is when I'm in a detached state. There's a term called schizoid fantasy, where, or autistic fantasy, where you detach and slip into fantasy to process your emotions. And apart from that, you have, uh, you suppress them or something along those lines. I don't know exactly what's going on. And that's what I was hoping for, I guess, some feedback. People who may have experienced this. Um, but generally, most of the time when I'm interacting with others, it's like I'm an actor, so to speak. Yeah, yeah, right, okay. I slip into this submissive, permissive, agreeable state, where I'm absolutely terrified of offending or upsetting the other person, or otherwise, I'm being arrogant and egotistical and thinking to myself, this guy is a fucking idiot. And I've never voiced that to anyone. Um, you know, um, so, I guess I like to keep my mood flat, with the PTSD, and indulging in loads of sugar and caffeine, you know, um, it numbs me out to a certain degree. And I think I'm accustomed to that state due to the fact that, having codependency issues, it's and black and white thinking. It's either all or nothing. Either I'll love you for an eternity or I'll despise you for an eternity. And there isn't too much middle ground, though it is improving. The more I become aware of this, but generally, instead of accepting that kind of way of, that dysfunctional aspect of my nature, generally I try and patronize an ideal in my own mind, where, I have constructed uh, uh, what it pertains to be normal. And, and I compare myself to that sort of eloquent, sophisticated, articulate, dynamic, charismatic, gregarious, affluent individual. And, I fall well short of the mark. It's just distortion. Yet, when I engage it in fantasy, it seems so real that, I'm the toast of the town, so to speak. The real people's person. It's a sharp contrast to my natural self, which is introverted, shy, and things along those lines. So I think this deaffectualisation is because of the dichotomy that exists between my ideal self, which is extroverted, and my natural self, which is introverted. So if I can't be one or the other, the extroverted one is celebrated and acclaimed and applauded. The introverted one is judged as being weak, pathetic, useless, and things along those lines. So actually, to start finding value in myself as an introvert, that's the daily challenge, so to speak. And I'm just figuring this out as I go along. It's not like I had a notion, to, hey, I've got to make a video. This is what it's going to be about. Generally I'm processing as I'm recording myself. So yeah, the introverted, the extroverted, and yeah. And I guess that's another thing about my ideal self, is that it's far removed from the environment that I experienced growing up. It isn't contaminated or distorted, or, well, it is distortion, but like I mentioned, it has a certain degree of clarity to it. And I'm starting as we speak to find the same kind of feeling that I have for this extroverted self, which is part of me, I guess, in my imagination, and bringing it back into my physical self. And I just sensed, a connection between introverted and which is my true self, as opposed to siphoning off that, by the siphoning that takes place by the extroverted self, by the phantasmatic one. So it's all well and good, 10 minutes is up. I've been talking long enough. Subscribe. Feedback would be greatly appreciated. Anyone who's got any insight or information in regards to deaffectualisation. Peace. Ciao for now.